up, friends of the good mood? This is Manni and welcome to the Trident Carnage. Something I really want to show you guys for a long time, and thanks to the Battle Rack account, I can now show this to you guys. You can see in the lower left corner of the screen, a level 10 Carnage with level 12 Tridents on it. And, you know, the Tridents are a rocket launcher with 600 meters range and a very big splash damage. So you can easily splash multiple people at the same time. And, of course, you are a nightmare for everyone who's using some kind of physical shields. The Lancelots, the Rhino, the Galahad, or the Garrett. They hate it when they're being fired upon by rockets. And yeah, that's what we're doing here, of course, with the Carnage and with the Trident launchers. We also have an RDB Griffin. This is a bit too loud here. We also have an RDB Griffin with us here. He's blocking me a little bit. I'm trying to use my range advantage here to deal as much damage as I can from the distance. But you can already see, like, each rocket deals around, I don't know, what is it? 3,500, 3,000, what is it? 3,400 something damage each rocket. And 6 rockets are fired every time I open fire, so there's a whole bunch of damage coming out. However, it's not exactly the weapon systems or, you know, the bot setup that lets you deal insane amounts of damage, right? Let's face it, it's a long-range supporter. You're never going to be the #1 damage dealer here in the match, simply because that's not what the weapon does. But it allows you to counter certain other things. You can counter an RDB Griffin very well, because you first off have a shield against his rockets, and secondly, you can even outrange the RDB setup. And that's, I guess, what makes this whole thing here very attractive. And since you have a lot of speed on the Carnage as well, you're very mobile, right? Especially with a rush ability, you can go in, fire, and go out of situations again. You can even, you know, sprint away when the Griffin jumps at you. You can sprint away from him, and you're pretty much the same speed as he's jumping. So that's really a good setup, and and it's a fun setup because you are so mobile. You can actually be all the time active. A Fury, for example, doesn't have a shield. A Fury needs to make sure he's never gonna he's gonna be fired upon by somebody, and you know, you're not as fast. And that makes the Fury, you know, although he's got more firepower, a little bit, in my opinion, a little bit more boring to play. You are very active with a Carnage. You're sometimes even in the middle of in the thick of it. And here I'm splashing 2 people at the same time with those rockets. That's very valuable damage right there. And yeah, that Fury on the other side is just too slow to walk away from it. And yeah, with 600 meters range, there's not even, like, he's got 800 meters range on his Tempest, but that doesn't do him any good, because not, you know, how often can you really rely and stay on 800 meters range on a map, right? Very often it's so you might have that range, but the enemies can still get closer to you, right? And that's why I'm not really, you know, that's why I think those 600 meters is a very good compromise in the middle. As a long-range supporter with a lot of splash damage, you can fight and hit people around the wall. We're doing this right here. Look, I can't even see. I cannot even see this Fury. I'm going to open fire at him in a second. Hopefully. I thought I was. Come on, Manni. Fire! Here we go. Boom. 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 And I was even switching aim there in the middle. I'm not sure if all 3 shots hit, but at least 2 of them hit, and a Tempest wouldn't even have been able to deal any damage right there, right? And the splash damage is really cool. The only problem you have is when the enemies have energy shields. Here I saw that the enemies are capturing our beacon, right? And I was like, okay, I have to give up my Carnage here. I have to be useful for my team. And so I was going to ditch the bot and jump into my melee thing, and then you see it here. Beacon was lost. No! I was like 0.5 seconds too late to jump into my, you know, Thunder Raijin right there, which I would have loved to do here in order to protect this beacon, but unfortunately it was already taken away. Now, I try to still make use of my Carnage by walking onto the beacon so they can at least not capture it, and it worked. We got this dock out of the way, and they haven't captured the beacon. We are the ones now getting it, and I'm waiting for the spawn here, and here we go. Okay, so I'm here, I'm jumping into my Aphid rocket, into my Aphid death button, or special ops death button, as I like to call it, and I'm taking care of the RDB or what it is up there, and then, you know, jumping into the range of the shield, like into the shield of the Lancelot at the same time. That was an amazingly good move right there, killing the guy in jumping over, and then landing in the shield of the Lancelot. I'm proud of myself for having this thing done, because you can try that very often. You can try to aim for doing this, but all the Lancelot needs to do is like walk away a little bit while you're jumping, and already it's worthless, right? So the fact that this actually worked is something that's really making me celebrate that moment a little bit. And yeah, we're here. Thankfully, we still got this beacon, and I'm still kicking ass. And oops, sorry, kicking butt. And excuse me, guys, I have to throw a coin in the swear jar later. But yeah, so here we go. We are destroyed now, and yeah, this was was a good action. Now we're in the death button with a plasma. What people corrected me on saying it was the Plasma Griffin. That's what you apparently call it. But I think you can also call it a Plasma Death Button. I've heard it very often like this too. So I guess you can probably say both. And we're countering here because I'm sick of this guy shooting me with the Zeus from all over the place. So I'm just jumping over there and engaging him directly with the Plasma Griffin, which of course is a really, really bad thing for him. Like that Carnage really doesn't want to get hit by those level 11 Tyrants and level 11 Magnums there. They bypass his shields perfectly, and it's basically I can kill that full Carnage in like 5 seconds or so. So he's got to be really careful, and the fact that I was able to jump and cross that long distance to him in one jump was very helpful here in getting that beacon and getting those two guys out of the way. And of course, now that we got this beacon, the other guys, you know, they're attacking the other beacon in their base again, because they're all spawning now in their base attacking this beacon there. I don't want to ditch my bot because I still have all 4 weapons. I could have ditched it here, and I'm doing it because I don't want to give them that thing, but it hurts me a little bit because I still had all 4 weapon system. I was like, okay. And here, right here in this very moment, I wanted to get the Rogatka. And I took the damage from these guys to get the Rogatka, but I think it would have been better to activate my frontal shielding and just take care of the other guys. Unfortunately, I'm taking the damage to attack the Rogatka first and then walk behind the cover and then activate the shield, but it was already too late. They spawned in with another Rocket Griffin there, and it's just, I think I didn't handle myself very well there. If I had gotten... Oh no, the aphid pattern is not going to help me from there. I'm going to spawn in the base. If I had, you know, just activated my frontal shield and turned towards the guys firing with plasma from the front, I would have probably been able to survive for a long time and deal much more damage. But I made a wrong call right there. Now, something that really surprises me, I've got 4 times level 12 aphids here on this pattern. I'm, you know, as a little navigation for you, or what I'm doing. This Battle Rack account, I'm using it so that weapons that are really exotic, like weapons that are not exactly the things that make you deal the #1 damage. Tyrants, Orcans and so, I make them all level 11 or something, but, you know, exotic weapons like Noricums or Zeniths or something, when I test them, I want to test them at level 12, and the same goes to the aphids, so that's why they are level 12, and I was really surprised I was unable to deal even 1 point of damage to that Galahad. He seemed to have blocked the entire rockets there with his shield, which is really interesting because normally when I'm using my Galahad, I get hit from above with the rockets and my shield isn't protecting me. Even though I'm trying to hold the shield in the right angle, it doesn't work for me mostly, and here he didn't get any damage again. Like, I'm really unlucky with my aphids right here, but I think we've done it. We've turned this match around. We haven't turned it around. I think we had a good influence on the match. We have now control all 4 beacons, one that the enemy has. And that's a good enough result for me to say we definitely made a victory out of this round. And let's see what the stats are here, ladies and gentlemen. We have 1,166,000 damage done. It's not insane, but it's a good round nonetheless. And we've definitely, you know, carried the match quite well here with the damage output. Now we are here back on Canyon just as a little outro video here, some additional Carnage footage, because that's what I want to show you in the video. It was a great round, but the purpose of this video is showing you the Carnage with a Trident here, and that's why I'm adding a separate little video here. Unfortunately, I had only choice to fire at somebody with a shield, or no one. So, you know what, I'm just gonna fire at that shield. Hopefully this will help my team take down this guy's shield, the rest of it, and then deal damage. And yes, they did. So I'm allowed to also open fire into his non-shielded bot now, and hopefully get some damage in. And yep, we killed it very quickly. And yeah, that's what you want to do. If you fight guys with physical shields and the Tridents, this is the best thing to do. And see, a Fury would never be able to walk all that distance now. But I'm in a Carnage, so I can just cross that distance so quickly with the rush ability and get behind this cover where only my weapon systems are sticking out, and they have a very hard time getting rid of me here. The aphids of that pattern, you know, they are dangerous, but they barely get through the shield. When he's ready to fire again, my shield is back up again, kind of. So I'm pretty well protected. Problem is that, of course, now there is a Rogatka with you know, the Punishers coming in, and I was relying on my help. I was like, okay, hopefully I get some backup here, because he's really open. Like, he's in the middle of the open now. And I was like, okay, hopefully I'm getting backup, and I did get backup. Thankfully, I was able to get rid of them. Now we have the next guy coming up with 3 Thunders, and I'm like, oh my god, they really want me dead, don't they? And I had some amazing backup, and again, I was like so happy with this backup I had. Let's try to get rid of this guy. Did we do it? Yeah, we did it, and we're dead. So yeah, we reached the end of this video, guys. I wanted to show you the Carnage with the Tridents because I feel like it's a fun setup to use, simply because you have a lot of range and you are active the whole time. You can fight, you can play, you can actually do something. You don't just sit there and fire and not move, right? And you can capture beacons, you can be very mobile and active, and sometimes you're gonna have to ditch your bot, as I did here on Springfield, in order to make a victory out of the round, right? But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed the little Carnage action right here, and if so, then leave a like and comment down below, and if you haven't already, hit subscribe as brutal as a man can hit for more. Thanks for bearing with me, you guys are awesome, as always. Manni-Gaming signing off. Bye-bye.